Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about these low freight rates that got all the truckers asking, where do we go from here? But first, roll the intro. Welcome back. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video. Be sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased owner operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, big thank you for all the likes you've provided in all the previous videos. Please do keep them coming, and let's talk about these low freight rates that are really bothering the trucking community, the truckers out there, and we're going to attempt to see what we got going on, at least in the first few months of 2023. Those of you guys who comment sometimes saying that our videos are all kind of doom and gloom, that kind of thing, this is going to be one of those videos, but I think it's more important for truckers to know or have an idea and make up their own minds about what's going on into the future, versus then just kind of riding through it and not preparing themselves emotionally and financially for the things that are likely ahead. So took some notes for you guys here. Let's without long introductions, low freight rates. You guys are obviously very concerned, and there, as always, there's good news and bad news. The good news in this case is tender rejection rates. They're up. Which is generally good, because that usually makes rates come up, because you guys are saying, you're going too low, Mr. Broker Man, on the rates. The problem, or the bad news, is that tonnage is down and volume is down in terms of availability. So therefore that drives your prices down as well. They cancel each other out, and that is just not a very good place to be in. That's where we're at right now. Furthermore, contract rates crossed over spot market rates. What does that mean? When you have a convergence on two charts, imagine two lines and they're crossing over. The point where they cross over is basically the convergence. That tells us that if this is paying $1.50 and this one's paying $1.50, they crossed at $1.50. So now contract rates and spot market rates have basically arrived at the same location. Again, not a good indicator for the spot market. Now, what else we got? Seasonally adjusted volume hasn't picked up yet. So we're in that time of year where you don't really have the produce season yet, right? So, and generally January is a really tough month. February also carries in, and usually, traditionally, is a tough month. We're seeing the same thing here. Some other things that are of interest and that are also lowering the rates and making the near future, at least, very tough to call good, is that industrial production was negative in the fourth quarter of 2022, so ending in December. That was for the first time since the second quarter of 2020. All right, so that is really not good for flatbeds, not good for step decks. Q2 of 2021 going through Q2 of 2022, year to year, basically at the time we were up at 5%, and now companies are basically revising their budgets, their expenditures. They're really being tightening things down. How do we know this? How do we see this? Generally, when you see all those layoffs and companies, we've talked about a video about C.H. Robinson having a major layoff several months ago, and there's other companies, you've seen them, from Amazon to Walmart and a bunch of other companies. There's a whole bunch that are doing that, and it seems like every week you keep seeing headlines about layoffs. So that's kind of what we're seeing. Corporate capital expenditures, they were up 15% in 2022, and that outpaced inflation at the time by 2x. Huge thing for 2022. Some of these years were quite decent for truckers in the United States. 2021 was a really good year, but realistically, numbers come in 2022 for the year, because that's when its tax season is for the prior year. Now, you can basically forget about that in 2023. It won't be an issue, because we won't even keep up with inflation. So so far, I'm not seeing too many good things here. So yeah, all the doom and gloomers, go ahead and comment below. We have a sharp correction in the housing market, declines in home sales and new housing starts, as well as existing home sales being down as well. Again, not very good for the construction market. They're being down in consecutively in consecutive months, basically, that are done sequentially, one after another. When you see something crashing sequentially without skipping a beat. That's is what I wanted to say. You know, there's kind of no reason for things just to spike. If you have something going down for 11 months, it is just not good. And then the bad news for flatbeds is that's going to take a while to correct. So, you know, the housing market would have to change before that improvement can go into effect. The good news is that it's nowhere near as bad as 2005 or 2009 when we had our huge housing bubble, housing crisis. We're definitely not experiencing something like that. We're experiencing something slightly different. Now, wages are barely keeping up with inflation for the 21 months straight. And so, you know, that's almost 2 years as far as wages. And credit card debt was actually up in the double digits in the second half of 2022. So the consumer is struggling. When the consumer struggles, they're going to hold back, reserve more money, cut their spending. You know, these are things that generally we would want from our government so that the people could live more prosperously. But I digress. Now, furthermore, as far as the consumers that I put together, you know, basically personal savings have declined sharply. Again, people are struggling, another indicator of that. And we're basically crossing our fingers as the trucking industry, as far as the carrier side, we're crossing our fingers for retail and consumer packaged good inventory to have a correction. And they're expecting that correction. They're hoping for that correction in March or April of this year, 2023. So, you know, early spring. There are some slight improvements generally expected for February, nothing big. You'll see from the numbers in the videos that the numbers are low. March looks better. Really, they're saying things are not going to be good till about the end of the first half. They're talking about July, so the beginning of the second half of the year. And we made a video some time back about this, basically that trajectory. And I believe I was saying, you know, early to late summer, you know, into fall, things like that we're going to be going into and where we're going to have correction. So I'll see if I can dig up that video and put a little card here so you guys can take a look at that. So looks like things are going just as like I thought they would. And, you know, obviously things can change. There's a lot of variables out there. But in any case, guys, if you have any questions, anything like that, please leave them in the comment section below. Would love to hear from you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And I'm going to switch over to camera. We're going to look over the loads we booked for our customers, and I'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back. Let's take a look at some of these loads. We got vans and reefers, and I believe one team rates are down. I am telling you up front, but I think they still did quite well. We're going to start off with a reefer out of University Park, Illinois, going to Cincinnati, Ohio, 41,000 pound load. Dry groceries on this one. The reefer stayed off. Everything's palletized. 270 miles booked at $950. Got them $352 a mile. Good start. Then Avon, Indiana to Henderson, Colorado with a 35,000 pound load of frozen food. -10 on a reefer. 1,078 miles booked at $3,000. Got them $278 a mile. Then Henderson, Colorado, zero deadhead going out to Romulus, Michigan, 42,000 pound load of grocery products, 35 degrees on a reefer, 1,235 miles booked at $26.50. That one. That's $215 per mile. Then Farmington Hills, Michigan going out to Woodstock, Virginia, 44,000 pound load of tile running 50 degrees for some reason, 508 miles booked at $1,600. Got them $315 a mile. They finished off out of Mount Crawford, Virginia, going to Wintersville, Ohio. So this was a 44,000 pound load of groceries, 34 degrees on a reefer, 282 miles booked at $11.50. Got them $408 a mile. Excellent job going to a decent market. Did very well. Ran for 7 days, Friday to Friday, grossed $9,350 for the week, ran 3,373 loaded miles at an average of 277 per loaded mile average. Excellent job. Next is a dry van. In fact, the rest will be dry vans. They did quite well this time around. Now, this one was 6 days on the road, coming out of Lowell, Wyoming, going to Buckeye, Arizona. So a longer run, 43,000 pound load of easy spread. 1,145 miles booked at $3,000 even, got him $262 a mile. And then out of Phoenix, Arizona to Tacoma, Washington with a 44,000 pound load of palletized bottled beverages. 1,428 miles booked at $3,800, got him $266 a mile. And that was it. Friday to Thursday, 6 days on the road, grossed $6,800 in 6 days, ran 2,573 loaded miles at an average of $264 a mile. If you run the numbers, that's actually quite good. Next, we got ourselves also a dry van, Charlotte, North Carolina to Hampton, Iowa. 20,000 pound load of dry goods, 1,083 miles, booked at $2,100, got them $194 to Iowa. Then Mankato, Minnesota to Elkton, Florida. 44,000 pound load of dry groceries, 1,465 miles, booked at 41.50, got him 283 a mile. And these guys ran actually solo from Friday to Wednesday, $6,250 in just a handful of days, grossed 2,548 miles at 245 per loaded mile average. Next, we got ourselves Laredo, Texas to Makita, Iowa, 40,000 pound load of consumer goods, 1,361 miles, booked at $3,035, got them 223 a mile. Then DeWitt, Iowa, going to Holland, Michigan with a 9,000 pound light load garden watering cans, 322 miles, booked at $1,000, got them 311 a mile. Then Muskegon, Michigan to Harrison, Arkansas, 43,000 pound load of clean metal, 738 miles, $2,000 booked, that's 271 a mile. Then right out of Harrison, Arkansas to Sikeston, Missouri, 43,000 pound load of general, I'm assuming general freight, FAK. It looks like some dry goods. 229 miles, booked at 750 on that one. That's 328 a mile. They finished off with Bernie, Missouri to Lexington, Missouri. Quick local run, 44,000 pound load of rice, 381 miles, booked at $1,110. Got them 291 a mile. And that was a weekly driver, Friday to Friday. Gross $7,895. Got a 3,031 loaded miles at an average of 260 a mile. So in this market, I will say that's actually great. You know, almost 7,900, almost $8,000. Over 3,000 miles, got a decent rate in today's market, not too shabby. Next, we got a driver, Elkton, Virginia, going to Fort Worth, Texas. This was a Tonu, $200 we collected for truck order not used, and picked up a load out of Raffine, Virginia to Stevens Point, looks like Wisconsin. Yeah, so of course, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. 44,000 pound load of paper rolls, 940 miles, booked at $1,500, got them $160 on that one, moved them into where they needed to go. Then Wausau, Wisconsin, I hope I'm saying that name right, going to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 15,000 pound load of food service equipment, 1,158 miles, booked at $3,100, got them $268 a mile. So $1.08 more on a whole bunch of miles. Well, not a huge amount of miles, but about a couple hundred miles more, and a much lighter load, making $3,100. So that was a good call on the driver and the dispatcher. Next, we got New Orleans, Louisiana to Jonesboro, Arkansas, with a 43,000 pound load of bag, looks like minerals, I thought materials. 464 miles, booked at $1,200, got him $259 per mile. And then Memphis, Tennessee to Livingston, Texas, 42,000 pound load of dry goods, 493 miles, booked at $1,150, got him $233 a mile. So $7,150 grossed, regular dry van, 3,055 loaded miles at $234 per loaded mile average. So definitely had a hard time with that set of loads, but the next ones are easy. You know, Zebulon, North Carolina, going to Marietta, Oklahoma with a 40,000 pound load of carton, 1,255 miles, booked at $2,600, got him $207 a mile. Then Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, going to Scotts Valley, California. Another long run, 24,000 pounds of groceries this time around, 1,588 miles, booked at $4,000, got him $252 a mile on that one. That was it. They ran for 7 days, Monday to Monday. Actually, let's take a look here. $6,600 gross for the week. They only ran 2,843 loaded miles at an average of 232 per loaded mile average. And then I'm going to finish off with our team. It's a dry van team, Arcadia, Wisconsin, or Logburn, Ohio, with a 5,000 pound light load of furniture, 640 miles real quick, $1,750 booked, got them $273 a mile. Then Urbana, Ohio to San Diego, California, with a 30,000 pound load of plastic bags, 2,179 miles, booked at $4,200, got them $193 there. And a final the load that they did was San Diego, California to Groveport, Ohio, with a 40,000 pound load of automotive parts. 2,237 miles, booked at $4,000, got him $179 on that one. And as mentioned, rates have gone down. 7 days on the road, grossed $9,950, ran 5,056 loaded miles at an average of $197 for this team. So guys, as you can see, rates have gone down, but your rates have gone down too, and everybody else's as well. So if you are not coming close to these kind of numbers, where whether you're a lease down owner operator or a carrier, it doesn't matter. If you're not hitting these kind of numbers, you definitely should be. You should be running more efficiently, less miles, less deadhead, less headaches, more money, higher rates, better gross. That's what you're looking for. If that's of interest, give us a call or text us at 801-448-6363. Go to our website at aftdispatch.com. Fill out our chat box, fill out the forms. Whatever you do, get in touch with us and we'll answer all your questions, get you set up if it's the right fit. And until next week, guys, stay healthy, be wealthy. Take care.